number one place for you to learn piano in a fun and steady way. In today's Theory Tuesday series, I'm going to go through with you 3 things. Number 1, the stuffs. Number 2, the clefs. Number 3, the ledgers. Let's go straight and dive in. The stuff is the foundation upon which notes are drawn. The modern stuff comprises 5 lines and 4 spaces. Where are the 5 lines? It's line 1, line 2, line 3, line 4, line 5. Where are the 4 spaces? Space 1, space 2, space 3, and space 4. Clefs assign individual notes to certain lines or spaces. 2 clefs are normally used, the treble clef and the bass clef. This is the treble clef, this is the bass clef. Right. First, we will discuss the treble clef, also known as the G clef. Let's trace it. Starting from the first space, space 1, trace up, touch the 3rd line, touch the 1st line, up all the way, cross the 5th line, down, and then straight all the way. Okay? So let's do it one more time. Starting from here, space 1, up, down, up, down. Let's go on. The staff line, which the clef wraps around, shown in red, is known as G. Any note placed on this line becomes G. So here is a treble clef. This staff line, denoted by this treble clef, is known as G. So if I place a note here, this note is G. So that explains why earlier on we mentioned that treble clef is also known as the G clef. It's because it wraps around the G line. Alright, so it wraps around the G. Okay. The note on the space above G is A. Remember, there is not an H note. Okay, so where is the space above G? So here's G. The space above it is here. So, if I were to draw an A note, it will look like that. Okay? Now I want you to think, what is the note on the line above A? So here's G, here's A. How about the note above A? On the line above A? Yeah, you got it right. That's a B. Alright. And the process continues. Starting from G, A, B, C, D, E, F, G. So that's how we draw the note on the lines as well as the spaces. I want you to think, what is the note in the space below G? So here's the G. The note in the space below G is an E. See that? Okay. Next, I want you to think, what is the note in the first staff line? Where's the first staff line? We count from the bottom, remember? So this is the first staff line. If this is G, then here will be F, and here will be E. So, what is the note in the first staff line? That's an E. So to answer the first question, what's the note in the space below G? That will be E as well. So as of now, you will be able to tell that this note is an E. This note is an E as well. You can put them together. Two of them represent E. Alright, let's go on. Every line or space on the staff represents a white key on the piano. Think, what is this note assigned by the treble clef? So here's a treble clef. So what does this note represent? That's an E. So E is actually represented by the white key, this white key. As you see, there are two black keys here. So the white key that is closest to the second black key is the E. Okay, let's try another one. This is a treble clef. Alright, what's this note? I want you to think for a second. Okay, there are two ways to do it. You can start from the E, first staff line, and you just count upward. So this is E, F, G, A. So this is an A. The second method to do this is, remember earlier on we mentioned that treble clef is known as G clef because it wraps around the second staff line. So now you know that second staff line is the G, that's your point of reference. So with the point of reference of G, you count up, that will be your A. So where is A on your piano? Knowing that this is E, we can count upward to the right, E, F, G, A. So here is the A. When you see this note, you will press this key on your piano. Alright, let's move on. Commercial time. If you like this video so far, remember to click like, comment, and subscribe to this channel. Also, do click the bell button to be notified whenever I post our next lessons and some learning tips or nice piano songs online. Okay, let's come back to the lesson. You may notice that sometimes the notes look like a dark oval with a stick. Sometimes they look like a hollow oval. They represent the different note duration, which I will cover in the next video. So do not worry about the different types of notes used here. For now, just focus on naming the notes. Alright. As you know, this key on the piano represents E. So how do we write E on the staff line? So E is actually the first staff line, right? Okay, and go up. This will be our F. First space. G, which is the second staff line. Alright, let's complete drawing the note on the staff line first. So G, A, B, C, D, E, F. Okay, so E, F, G, A, B, C, D, E, F. Remember there's no H, okay? Right. Some quick tips for you. Okay, as you notice in the previous slide, E, G, B, D, the staff lines, whereas F, A, C, E fall on the spaces. So E, G, B, D, F fall on the lines. There's a mnemonic for us to remember it. Every good boy does fine. E stands for every, G, good, B, boy, D, does, F, fine. Okay? The notes F, A, C, and E fall on the spaces. F, A, C, E. So there's no need of a mnemonic here because the letters already form a word, which is face. Alright, now with this mnemonic, it's easy for you to tell. What's the note on the first staff line? E. What's the note on the last staff line? F. Okay? But remember, this only applies to treble clef. Let's recap. Here is a treble clef. Here are our notes on the staff. So this is G, and then move on, A, B, C, D, E, F, G. Uh-oh, we just ran out of room to place note on our staff lines. So what should we do? What should we do here? Ledger lines will solve our dilemma. A ledger line is a small line that extends the staff when we run out of room. So this is a ledger line. It's a small line. Okay? How do we draw a ledger line? We draw with the same amount of space in between the lines. Okay? So do not draw too high up. Do not draw too low. But you have to draw with the same amount of gap. See that? So this is our ledger line. So with the ledger line, we can place the A. How do we do it? Here. This is an A. Okay, I want you to think. Can you continue drawing the note for B and C? Moving up. Of course. So what do? We continue drawing the ledger line and then we put a B here. Okay, let me extend my stuff. So let's continue with the C. Same ledger line. And now there's no space. As in there is a lot of space, but there's no line for me to draw C. What do? I place another ledger line. Remember the same amount of gap, okay? Another ledger line, and here is my C. Okay? And then you can go on and on and on. Next. Let's discuss the bass clef, also known as the F clef. Let's trace it. Starting from the 4th staff line, go up, down, and here, with the 2 dots in the 3rd and 4th space. It is easier to draw a bass clef than a treble clef, but it's okay, practice makes perfect. So let's trace the bass clef one more time. Starting from here, the 4th staff line, up, down, and we end here with 2 dots. The staff line in between the 2 dots of the clef is F. Some of you might be thinking, wait, I thought every good boy does fine, does. So this line should represent D, shouldn't it? Yes, it is true that this represents a D, but that is when the staff is denoted by the treble clef. Now you see, when the clef changes, when it becomes the bass clef, this line is now F. Okay? Don't be confused. So here is F. We can now fill the rest of the stuff with notes. So with F here, go up, there will be G, A. Okay, let's go down. Become an F because here is the G, right? So A, G, F. Then E, D, C, B, A, G. Alright. Some quick tips for you. Mnemonic for bass clef. So earlier on we have treble clef, remember? The mnemonic for treble clef for note on the lines are: every good boy does fine. Okay, whereas for bass clef, we use the mnemonic that is good boy does fine always. So here is good, which is G, boy B, does D, fine F, always A. And then when it comes to spaces, for treble clef, for treble clef, the notes in the spaces represent F, A, C, E. Whereas for bass clef, represent A, C, E, G. So how do we remember? So A represent all. Cows eat grass. All cows eat grass. Alright? Isn't it fun? Now I want you to observe something. I want you to compare the names of the notes on the staff lines when denoted by treble clef and bass clef. So there you go. G, B, D, F, A, E, G, B, D, F. A, C, E, G, F, A, C, E. Okay? Don't get confused. Practice makes perfect. So at the beginning, you will find it difficult to remember, but that's okay. Everyone goes through this stage before they become familiar. Okay? Next. Finally, we will discuss the grand staff, which is made of two regular staffs with a treble clef on the top staff and a bass clef on the bottom staff, joined together by a brace. Where's the brace? Here. So this is a grand staff. Let's put some notes on our grand staff. Starting from the first staff line for our bass clef. Remember, good boy does fine always, right? So good. Start with good. G. And here will be A, right? Once you get the first note correct, you can just count on and on. So G, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, A, B. Run out of space, run out of room. So what do? Just add a staff line. Okay? And then put the note here. So this is a C. Okay, let's go on with our treble clef. First one is E. But I can place another note here. We can place a D. So D, E, F, G, A, B, C, D, E, F, G. Go up, A. Go up, B. Up again, C. Notice how the two clefs are joined by the C, as shown in red. This C is commonly called the middle C, since it corresponds to the middle ledger line for the top staff and the bottom staff. So let's look at our previous slide. You realize that after the B for bass clef, we move on to C. And And then from C, from the same C, we can actually start counting on again. C and D, E, F, G, so on and so forth. So you notice that two clefs are joined by the middle C. Okay? So how does it look like on a piano? So we find our middle C first. That's the first step. That's the middle C, which is right here. Okay, and you can actually go backward. C, and then B. Are you with me? A, G, F, so on and so forth. Until here, that's a G. So if I go on again, go backward, that's the F, which I will put here. Right? Okay, then for the treble clef, look, going up from C, middle C, you just go up. There'll be C, D, E, F, G all the way. I'll get a G here. Okay? That means when you see this note, for example, on the music sheet, you play the G above your middle C. If you see this note here, it's also a G, but you will play the G below the middle C. See that? Here's a G, here's a G as well. So the clefs will tell us which G we are going to play. Okay? Here's the first song you're going to practice. Love Me Tender. The note on top. For example, this definitely is a G, right? I'm sure you remember because it's exactly the line which the treble clef wraps around. So this G. And then you can count and you get the note. Alright, don't worry about the type of note because we are going to go through it in the next lesson. Okay, that's all. In the next video, on our Theory Tuesday, we're going to study about note duration. So stay tuned to my channel, Fun and Steady Piano Learning Workshop. Things to prepare for every lesson. There are 4 things. Number 1, the weekly task that's completed. Pay attention to the word completed. Number 2, your very own piano notebook. Number 3, colored pens. Number 4, your ever-burning passion. Alright, I'll see you in the next video. Bye!